Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the month of October. This is your love reading for the month of October as well. This month, if you want to catch me live, I go live every single day at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All you have to do is subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and you will catch me live. In this love reading, these new love readings are meant to be quick and to the point, but they're also meant to provide a lot of detail. So in this reading, we're first going to be covering new love, then we're going to be covering your ex and how they feel about you, then we're going to be covering what you may be missing in love, then we're going to cover the unexpected in love, and finally we're going to cover the future outcome in love. So Scorpio, like I said, do not try to make these readings resonate. Again, if this reading does not resonate with you, there are plenty of other readers that you can watch this month. This is meant to be a general reading, and it's probably not going to resonate with all of you. But for love in general, for new love, you have the Ten of Wands. I feel like just even looking at your ex spread that's here as well, I feel like releasing old love is definitely the answer for you. It comes up for every single water sign, every single night, that it's time to let go of the ex. So again, is that going to be true for all of you? No. This is just a general reading, but for most of you, I feel like moving on to someone new or something new is going to be your best bet. Ten of Wands says, release a burden, release the heavy weight of the past. It's time to move on to the future. So I definitely feel like that's what you should be doing here, Scorpio. Next, your challenge for new love is the Justice card. This is like saying that your challenge is understanding how much energy to put into a new relationship, or how much energy to put into finding a new relationship. Justice is cause and effect. It says, if I do X, I get Y from a situation, right? So it just says, how much are you willing to put in to find new love? Or, are you putting in too much? Sometimes if we come across as like too eager to be in a relationship, we can kind of like creep a person out, right? We can push them away. If we don't put in enough, then they just feel like we don't like them. So for you, I feel like your challenge this month is to understand and balance how much energy you are either putting into a new relationship or how much you're putting into finding a new relationship. I feel like if you can experiment and put those things into balance, you will do great with this card. And your solution is Three of Pentacles, teamwork. Pretty straightforward. This is a card of communication as well. It literally says, like, if you're in a relationship and you really like someone, just say, I really like you. It's just that simple. Because then that will probably let them know, like, if you're not putting enough into the relationship with the Justice card. But if you say that, then they'll be like, oh, they really like me. So now I know that they like me. If you are creeping someone out, if you're putting too much in, just ask them. Say, am I creeping you out, right? I'm not trying to creep you out. Am I being too obsessive? Whatever. Literally just saying that, working as a team, will be your solution. This could also just say that you're attracting someone who is of a certain quality. So it could just say that maybe you're attracting someone who's very mature, who really doesn't care. And, it could just be that simple. Next, in your X spread, your overall energy for the X is a Two of Pentacles, so juggling. So some of you could, and you have the Seven of Swords as well, so some of you could be dealing with an ex who is cheating, who is a liar, or who is juggling a situation. This could also just say that you are picking a new path. So plain and simple, Scorpio, this could just say you're not going back to the past. And that's pretty much all I'm getting off of that card. Next, for how your ex feels about you, you have the Seven of Swords. So they could be, number one, they could have a lot of fears around you. Seven of Swords to me is internal fears that don't exist. So they could have a lot of fears, or they could be worried about the situation in general. They could have also cheated on you. So it could be like a cheating situation here. And they could be thinking about how they hurt you, but really, that doesn't mean much. To me, the Seven of Swords is a card of like choice words. So to me, it could say that your ex wants to communicate with you. But again, for everybody, like for almost everybody this month, the challenge has been like actually taking action. So your ex taking action to do that just seems like it's not going to happen, is what I'm trying to say. Next, your challenge with the ex is the King of Pentacles. For some of you, your ex could have been an earth sign, but really this is a card of predictability, and it's a card of permanence, and also a card of understanding as well. And so it kind of represents you, basically your ex, having been someone who is probably not stable, not predictable, and not very long-term in the first place. So I feel like you were dealing with someone, like on the extreme end of the scale, I feel like some of you could have been dealing with a crazy person. For others, I feel like you could have just been with somebody who is very unpredictable, very up and down, very all over the place. And I feel like that could have been a problem as well. I'm also getting the word critical as well as popping into my head. So I feel like you could have been dealing with an ex, or your ex could be somebody who is very critical. Like I just see somebody who like looks at every little thing wrong with like everything in life. And I feel like that's what they do. I feel like they could, again, they could be a very negative person, or I feel like they could have been very critical of you, but like when it comes to them, they were like perfect, right? So I feel like some of you could have been dealing with somebody like that. Your solution is the Eight of Pentacles. To pay attention to the details is what the Eight of Pentacles asks us. It says, if you were to get a piece of paper, I always tell people, create an X shit list, right? If you can't get over your ex, create a list of all the things they did that drove you crazy. Create a list of all the things that they did that were wrong, whatever. Because then when you're thinking about them, and when you're thinking, oh, I want to go back to this person, you can look at that list and you can say, oh, no, got arrested 8 times when we were together. They were an alcoholic and they also hated dogs. Like, basically the worst people in the world hate dogs, right? So, really, that's what I would say here with the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like you need to see the details and pay attention to the details of like what actually happened in the relationship. Next, for what you may be missing in love is you have the Four of Swords and the Queen of Swords. This could actually say that you just need a break from love. So maybe what you are missing is the fact that maybe you should just not even be focusing on love for some of you for this month. And that's okay, right? The Queen of Swords, the card of being self-sufficient. Queen of Swords says that you don't need anybody. It basically says you don't need someone in your life. You are able to take care of yourself. I always tell people, it's like, when you get to that point where you don't need anybody, that's when the perfect person comes into your life because you're able to take care of yourself. So it's like you're not trying to fill some sort of empty void that doesn't need to be filled. So I feel like some of you, just what you are missing is that it's okay to be alone and it's okay to take some time and to take a break and not even focus on love this month at all. So I feel like some of you could be doing that with those cards. Next, for the unexpected in love, you have for this month, you have the Three of Wands and the Two of Swords. I feel like you could be kind of like making a surprising decision in love for some of you. Like this could be, Three of Wands could say that you are taking control of your life, you are expanding with the universe, and that you could also be kind of like increasing your standards in love, let's put it that way. So you could be saying, you know what, I deserve better than everything I've dated in the past, so that's what I'm going to focus on, and that's what I'm going to get. The Two of Swords says you could be making an unpopular decision, and or you could just be making a decision, period, in your life that leads to forward movement. I feel like this is pretty good for you, actually, Scorpio, if you are making a decision this month. And I feel like you're making a decision that's going to lead to a positive outcome. For others, I feel like you're picking a third place. Like for some of you, you could be like seeing someone who just isn't willing to compromise in your life. And I feel like you could be just saying, you know what, I'm going to accept this person for who they are, or I'm just going to move on. So that's kind of what I get there. And finally, your future outcome for love is the Five of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. Kind of a weird future outcome. For some of you, again, I feel like this could be talking about a breakup and feeling left out in the cold. So sorry about that, Scorpio. But really, again, number one, I'm going to be back to do a mid-month update with this exact spread if everybody likes it. So I will be back with a mid-month update. Things will change, of course, in love. But I feel like for some of you, you could be just deciding to focus on yourself. Kind of like I was saying with that Four of Swords and that Queen of Swords, I feel like you could just be taking time to be on your own, and that's fine. I feel like that's a good thing. For others, I feel like this could be you deciding to leave someone out in the cold. So like I said, that Two of Swords, I kept getting like, on that Two of Swords, I kept getting like difficult decision or weird decision kept popping into my head. So but maybe it's a decision to leave someone. Maybe it's a good person, but maybe it's just not right? Like we could be with someone who's really good to us, but at the same time, if it doesn't feel right, then should we be in the relationship? Probably not. And that's kind of the feeling I get here. It's like you're leaving someone where maybe they're a good person, maybe on paper they're perfect, but maybe they're really not. And that's kind of what I feel for you here, Scorpio. But overall, this looks really, really good. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff here. For some of you, I feel like you're just focusing on yourself. Like I said, I feel like some of you aren't even thinking about love, or you're not even focusing on love at all. I feel like you could just be taking time for yourself and kind of like taking time to do your own thing. Yeah, you have the Magician and the Ten of Swords. This is like a difficult ending, so I definitely feel a difficult ending for some of you. For some of you, I feel like it's already happened. For some of you, I feel like it will be happening. But the Magician is like you focusing on action. It's you focusing on something new in the future. To me, the Magician says you can have whatever you want, you just need to focus on it, and it's just that simple. So, Scorpio, this looks pretty good, but again, I feel like you're just focusing on yourself, which is probably what you should be doing anyway this month. So, thank you for watching, Scorpio, and enjoy your month.